In the beautiful village of Ndemu, nestled by a sparkling river and surrounded by towering mountains, lived a woman named Abeni. She was a figure of extraordinary beauty, with skin as smooth and polished as the finest ebony and eyes that sparkled like stars in the night sky. Her grace was unmatched, and her kindness knew no bounds. Abeni was admired by everyone in the village, but despite her outward perfection, there was one thing that shadowed her life. She could not bear children. In Ndemu, motherhood was not just an honor. It was the ultimate calling, the very essence of a woman's worth. The people believed that a woman's place in the world was defined by the number of children she bore. To be a mother was to be blessed by the gods. And so, as the years passed without a child, the whispers behind Abeni's back grew louder. Abeni's husband, Jabari, adored her. His love was pure, unwavering, and he saw no flaw in her. For 5 years they had been married, sharing a life full of laughter and warmth. Jabari never once blamed Abeni for their childless marriage, always assuring her that they were enough for each other. But even his comforting words couldn't protect her from the relentless gossip of the village women. Every morning, the women of Ndemu would gather at the riverbank, exchanging their latest gossip and mocking Abeni. It was there that they would cruelly laugh and say things like, "Look at her, so beautiful, yet no children to show for it. What a waste." Their leader, Jabari, a proud mother of 6 children, took great pleasure in tormenting Abeni. "What good is beauty if you cannot even bear a child?" Jabari would say with a sneer, her words sharp like daggers. Abeni tried to ignore them, holding her head high as she fetched water from the river. But their words cut deep into her heart, like stones sinking into the depths of her soul. At home, the loneliness consumed her. She longed for a child, someone to love, to hold, to call her own. Someone who would silence the cruel voices of the village women and bring peace to her troubled heart. Jabari, ever the devoted husband, would comfort her after each painful day. "Do not listen to them, my love," he would say, holding her close. "You are more than enough for me. Children will come when the gods are ready." But even Jabari's soothing words could not ease the ache within her. She had tried everything: prayers, sacrifices, and offerings to the gods, but still no child came. Yet, the torment didn't only come from the women of the village. Jabari's mother, Mama Jabari, was even harsher. She had high hopes for her son, and after 5 years of marriage with no grandchildren to show for it, her frustration turned to bitterness. "How many years must pass before you give me grandchildren?" Mama Jabari would demand, her voice laced with disdain. "What kind of woman are you, that you cannot give my son a child? What will become of me when I am old and have no one to carry on the family name?" Abeni's heart shattered under the weight of Mama Jabari's cruel words. She loved Jabari deeply, and the thought of leaving him was unbearable, but what could she do? She had done everything she could, and still, her womb remained empty. One particularly harsh day, after a bitter argument with Mama Jabari, Abeni couldn't take it anymore. She fled from the house, her heart heavy with despair. She didn't know where she was going, only that she needed to escape from the pain and shame. Her feet carried her into the thick forest beyond the village. The sun was beginning to set, and the shadows of the trees grew long and dark. Abeni wandered deeper into the forest, her mind a whirlwind of confusion and sorrow. It was then that she stumbled upon the forbidden baobab, a place the villagers feared. Legends told of spirits and ancient gods who lived within the tree, and those who ventured too far into its depths were said to disappear forever. But at that moment, Abeni felt she had nothing left to lose. She knelt before the great tree, her voice trembling as she prayed. "Oh, great spirit of the tree, please hear my plea," she cried. "I have been mocked, shamed, and tormented because I cannot bear a child. If there is any mercy left in the world, please bless me with a child of my own. I am willing to do anything for this gift." For a long moment there was only silence. The wind rustled through the leaves of the tree, but there was no response. Just as Abeni was about to rise and leave, defeated, a voice called out to her from the shadows. The voice was soft yet commanding, and it sent a shiver down her spine. Why do you weep so bitterly, child? Abeni looked up in surprise to see an old woman standing before her. The woman was dressed in simple white robes, her hair silver like moonlight. Her eyes gleamed with ancient wisdom, and there was something otherworldly about her presence, as if she were not entirely of this world. Who are you? Abeni asked, wiping her tears. I am the servant of the three, the old woman replied, her voice like the rustling of leaves. Why do you weep so, child? I weep because I cannot have a child, Abeni explained. In my village, a woman's worth is measured by the children she bears. My mother-in-law despises me, and the other women mock me. I would give anything to be blessed with a child. The old woman regarded Abeni with a knowing gaze. You speak of children as though they are the only measure of your worth. Do you not see the beauty and kindness within you? Still, I understand your pain. The path ahead will not be easy, but if you are truly willing to do anything, I will show you a way. Abeni's heart raced with hope. I will do anything, she said earnestly. The old woman nodded, her eyes gleaming with ancient knowledge. Follow the path deeper into the forest. You will find a tree unlike any other. Its branches reach to the heavens, and its fruit stretches to the depths of the earth. Pluck a leaf from its branches and return to me. Do not hesitate. Abeni, filled with determination, rose and followed the narrow path that led deeper into the forest. As she ventured farther, the trees grew thicker, and the air grew colder. She pressed on, driven by the hope that this strange encounter might finally bring her the child she so desperately desired. The forest grew darker with each step, and Abeni began to feel the weight of the journey. But at last, she arrived at a small clearing bathed in the soft silver glow of the moon. In the center of the clearing stood a tree unlike any other. Its branches reached high into the sky, and its leaves shimmered with a light that seemed to come from within. Abeni stood in awe of the tree's beauty, marveling at its ethereal glow. She carefully plucked a single leaf from its branches, feeling the weight of her decision. With the leaf in hand, she retraced her steps, making her way back to the old woman. When Abeni returned to the old woman, she handed her the shimmering leaf. The woman smiled, her ancient eyes sparkling. You have shown great courage, Abeni. Now, your journey is nearly complete. She reached into the folds of her robe and pulled out a small, crystal vial filled with a glowing liquid. This is the essence of life itself. Drink it, and you shall receive what you seek. But remember, true blessings come at a price. Abeni hesitated for only a moment before drinking the vial's contents. A warmth spread through her, and she felt an overwhelming sense of peace, as if the universe had finally embraced her. The woman's voice echoed softly. The gods have heard your cry. You will bear a child, but you must never forget that your worth was never defined by what you could give others. Months later, Abeni returned to her village, pregnant with the child she had longed for. The villagers, stunned by her transformation, could only whisper in awe. Jabari, who had once mocked her, was the first to approach. Abeni, she said, her voice full of wonder. We were wrong. You are a mother in the truest sense, of both body and spirit. Abeni smiled, for she knew that the greatest gift was not just the child, but the newfound wisdom of her own worth.